Why everybody saying it's so hard to find a job? I applied for a job 2 days ago. I started Monday. They said I could have started this week, but training started Monday. There's people on this app saying they got way more education than me, way more experience than me, way more certificates, and still can't find no gig. The man asked me at the end of the interview, why should we hire you? I said, ain't y'all hiring? Simple shit like that. He was like, you know, I asked the last guy that question, why should we hire you? He was like, oh, I'm gonna work hard, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. The whole time I was thinking, if you that type of worker, why are you still looking for a job? But he said, you, sir, you said, well, hell, I came because y'all asked. People looking for a job make them feel like, hey, man, come on, man, I'll be here on time, and I'm not working for you. We're helping each other, right?
Hey, man, I don't understand. Real talk. From the time that I started in the construction industry, now mind you, before then, I was struggling. But as soon as I realized how profitable the construction industry was, and I think that was like in '08, '09, something around there, I never had to worry about a job. I don't have to worry about no resume. I don't have to worry about no interview. I go in there.
It's crazy. I ain't never heard no mess like this.
I go in there. I tell them what I want. We negotiate on that. And we start. I think the problem is y'all are trying to find jobs when you need to find yourself a career.
What's the difference?
A job. You remember when I told you when we were working at Toys R Us, you had to go look at the schedule. The difference between a job and a career. A job, you have to constantly go look at that schedule to see what days you're working. You get 2 days off. They could be any days, random. So you need to find out which days those are. On a career, I know I work Monday through Friday, sometimes Saturday. I know I don't need to go look at a schedule. I don't need to be informed on when that you need to come to work tomorrow. None of that. I don't need any of that.
I knew my days though. I was off Friday and Sunday.
If you in there with them good like that, then of course you. But at the same time, everybody in we doesn't have that privilege.
I know, but I was.
But I try to preach these trades to people as much as possible, and I'm telling you, people do not be listening. If you get into these electrical, plumbing, pipe fitting,
truck driving,
all of these things, they're very profitable industries.
Even machinists. I've been seeing a lot of hiring.
Because they're not out here.
And then I looked at the pay. I'm like, that's not bad, you know.
Plumbers. They're looking for plumbers all the time. Wow. I get notifications all the time. They're looking for plumbers, pipe fitters. They're looking for these people, electricians. Mm-hmm. What are y'all doing out here? Do y'all want to make enough money to take care of y'all family? Of course, it's hard work, but everything's hard. Everything's dirty. If you want to make it to a certain level, you're gonna have to do some things that you don't want to do.
Right.
And working is one of those things that most people don't want to do, but we have to. So if you are going to have to work, why not find a job that compensates you accordingly? Stop going after these doggone fast food. That's not for grown people. That's an entry-level job. That's for children. Mm-hmm. That's for college students. Right. People trying to pay for doggone gas to get back and forth from their dorm to the college. That's not for grown people trying to take care of a family. You got women on TV talking about, I want $15 to $20 to flip burgers and doggone fried chicken. If that's the case, I need to be making $50 an hour.
For what you
If
do. Yeah.
anybody in the doggone food industry is making $15 an hour, I don't care what the doggone cost of living is. If you're making that much money, I need to be making 3 to 4 times that amount. Because the risk that I'm taking on a daily basis, it ain't from no doggone hot grease. Real talk. I'm being for real.
I know.
Y'all out here tripping, man. I don't know what y'all doing. This man just said he ain't got all the certificates. He ain't got all the qualifications. He went in there, told him I want a job. They asked him, why we need to hire you? Nigga, because y'all said y'all hiring. Why wouldn't you hire me? I'm here.
I showed up.
Mm-hmm. I'm doing more than half of the people would do. I'm right here.
I also think it's a problem of society saying you need a college degree, right? Instead of saying get a trade.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a huge problem. And then people don't want to do anything anymore.
Then you got these people on social media that's trying to shame you for having a regular.
And then that's another, that's the big thing. I want to be this content creator.
Yeah. An influencer.
But do you have a skill with your hands?
Y'all out here trying to be W.E.B. Du Bois when you need to be Booker T.
And Booker T knew how to read, write, and work with his hands.
Straight up.
You know?
I keep telling y'all we should have listened to Booker T.
Get your hands dirty, know how to do something. And it's something that's like you will be successful in, like, right? You could be
satisfying.
Right. Mm-hmm.
We said this before. We go by, we can ride on any side of H-Time, and I've touched something in one of them buildings. Mm-hmm. Plumbing, or pipe fitting, AC work. I touched something on every side of town in H-Time. That is something to be proud of. We can ride down the street. I can tell my daughter, say, look, I did that. We can go to the airport, either airport.
Yeah, I remember
I did
those days. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Y'all, man, say there's jobs out here. I don't think y'all want to work.
It's just jobs you don't want to work.
Y'all think some of this stuff is beyond y'all. Like I be saying, people don't want to be a plumber because they think you go and play in doo-doo. I will go play in doo-doo. I will. Because after I finish, I can always take a shower.
And then these jobs too, they're weekly pay. I think a lot of people, I
never had no bi-weekly job. That's the weakest mess ever.
I don't
even work for the government when you get paid on the first and 15th.
Right? What teachers too? They don't be getting paid.
That's why people broke, because you can't manage money from 1 week to the next, and y'all try to manage it for 2 weeks.
Yeah, I know a lot of these jobs are weekly pay. I had net look. When I saw people were getting paid every 2 weeks, I said, what? Excuse me, say what? I had never.
That's a job.
I had never.
That's a job. There.
I had never heard of that.
Straight up.
That was interesting.
Very interesting stuff. But bottom line is, this job's out here. You need to humble thyself and stop listening to these people who tell you that humble is not a word that you should be associating yourself with.
Who say that?
There's a lot of people saying that humble. I mean, because the technical definition is to like lower yourself.
Yeah.
But they want to demonize lowering yourself. You should have pride, and you should have this, and you should be standing tall with your chest out.
And that's why you can't. That's why you don't have no job.
With that being said, we're going to go ahead and get up out of here. And like always, it's love, peace, and soul. Like Soul Train, baby. Get a job.